Welcome. I am so excited to be here today at the Oasis to introduce some very special guests, Bill and Pam Farrell, who just flew in from California to do this amazing interview with us. Just like your book, many of you have heard me talk about men are like waffles, women are like spaghetti, and this book really helps to understand the opposite in sex, and it's just because it's food, which all of us really
We all love food. That's right.
Everybody wants to know from the source of the two that created this wonderful book what waffle and spaghetti really is.
Like, what does that mean?
Well, let me start with the guys. Okay, if we were to diagram the way a typical man processes information in life, it actually looks like the top of a waffle. There's a bunch of boxes, and all those boxes are separated from one another by walls. And the way we as men operate is the first issue in life goes in the first box, the second issue goes in the second box, the third issue goes in the third box, and so on. And we as men, we spend time in one box at a time in one box only. So when a man is at work, he is literally at work. When a man's out in his yard doing yard work, he is in the yard doing yard work. When a man's watching TV, he is watching TV.
No.
I mean, we do one thing at a time and one thing only. And now as men mature, we do jump boxes faster than we used to. So at times it looks like we're multitasking. We kind of imitate that whole thing. But in reality, we've just learned to move from one box to another faster than we used to. Relationships need that single focus. Families need that single focus. Yeah. Churches, communities, all need that single focus that men bring to life. But it does create some significant tension in male and female relationships because you ladies don't tend to process like a waffle.
Right. You know, social scientists have said for a long time men compartmentalize and women integrate. And I think really the best picture of compartmentalizing is like 9/11. You know, look at New York City, the Twin Towers were falling. Mayor Giuliani, he had friends, they were perishing in those Twin Towers. But he shut down his emotions to run through the streets of New York, firing off directives to save lives. That's compartmentalizing at its premium. And when we ask women for the teenage version, for the singles version, and for the married version of waffles and spaghetti, we said, girls, what's your favorite thing about the guys? More than 50% said, I appreciate the fact that men can shut down their emotions and handle a crisis, especially if it's our crisis they're handling, right? So that's compartmentalizing, but that's very different than the way that we are wired. If you look at how our minds are wired with all that, you know, good hormones and things, it is much like one noodle laying on a plate of spaghetti. And if you follow that noodle around that plate of spaghetti, it looks like it touches pretty much every other noodle on the plate. And so that's the way we women process life, is we travel through life making emotional connections to the people and things that matter most to us. And so by nature, we are awesome multitaskers. I mean, we can be on the phone with our friend, and we are watching TV, and we're seeing you. We're like, oh, we should go to that gathering. At the same time, we're writing our Christmas card list, our grocery list, our to-do list for our husband and our 6 kids, as we're telling the kids in sign language to quit fighting. Can't you see them on the phone? We have a load in the washer, a load in the dryer. We're cooking dinner, and we can open and shut the oven door with our foot. We are amazing multitaskers. Guys like to go to their favorite easy boxes to rest and recharge. And, you know, I think really God kind of helped us girls out in that most men's favorite easy boxes are kind of shaped like boxes when you think about it. TV screen shaped like a box, the computer screen shaped like a box.
Computers.
Exactly. Yep. The newspaper shaped, basketball court shaped like a box, a pool table shaped like a box, the refrigerator shaped like a box. In fact, the way to a man's heart is still through his stomach. Yep.
Beautiful. So every viewer wants to know, what is the secret to marriage?
Exactly. I think that is the $1 million question, because everybody wants love for a lifetime. You know, we love to be in love, but we love to last as well.
And it's interesting. Everybody's asking that question, and everybody thinks there's a complicated answer to it. And really, Renee, the answer is really pretty simple. And we need to make sure we don't confuse simple with easy.
Okay.
Because what makes marriage work is when you accept the fact that you married somebody very different than you. And so marriage is a lifelong learning adventure. Like I would love to tell you that after 35 years of marriage, I understand Pam. But about the time I think I understand her, she does something that surprises me. And I realize, again, I've married somebody very different than me. I love the fact that Pam is passionate and opinionated about life. I also get very frustrated with the fact that Pam is opinionated and passionate about life. So it's the same thing. It's just that our perspective turns. And And so we're committed to, we're going to keep this going till our perspective becomes positive. And we're like, wow, I love this about you. It's my goal every day to wake up an hour before Pam because she wakes up talking. And I'm not ready for it. So I have to have an hour warm-up period before she gets up.
And he's being nice too. I wake up, I'm firstborn, so I wake up ordering is more like it, and bossing.
and let me just comment on this blank box for a moment, because guys going to blank boxes to recharge is a normal thing that happens. There's another reason why guys get that deer in the headlights look, that when we feel like we're being pushed on something and we don't know how to succeed, we actually get emotionally flooded by that interaction. And so sometimes we go into that what looks like a blank box because we feel like we're emotionally drowning in the conversation.
Like they just don't know where to start, and so they kind of freeze.
And so our two responses are either get angry and push the person away that we're talking to, or go inward.
Retreat.
Yeah.
And we found that it's safer to retreat. And so sometimes what you see as a blankness is really us being emotionally flooded and we don't know what to do.
What you're saying too is I tell everybody, oftentimes in married couples that I see, or even then trying to find that special person, is it's that identity that we lose of who we actually were attracted to in the beginning.
Right.
That we try to become a union, but then we get so off track of really who we are, and then there's challenges. So I love that, because the other thing that we're not taught, none of us, I wish it was in college and schools and education, is how to be successful in a loving relationship. So I just appreciate, and I'm so blessed that you all have flown on this red-eye flight out here.
Couldn't wait to get here.
Look at how alert they both are. Beautiful.
You are really kind.
And that I'm just blessed that you have come to our hometown here in Jacksonville, Florida, with the expansion to help so many others in their journey of love. And you both are just such a role model to so many. So thank you.
Well, we were equally excited to come meet you, because you're doing some things with singles and couples and in that whole relationship process that is very unique. And we're very excited to see how this is going to grow. And I think that it's a wonderful model that I hope goes worldwide.
And again, we're honored to be a part of this, Renee, because we are the people you're trying to help.